So filled with great information. Just an all-around good guy. The one, the only Sean Salisbury. Good morning, Sean.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. You still getting that echo?
Nope.
Okay.
Good. Off. No problem. Yep.
Good. I woke up the hamster on the wheel, so we're good to go. You know, Sean, we're kicking around a theory here about Brock Purdy. And, you know, if it was Brock Purdy that the Niners traded 3 picks for and drafted him, number 3, would we be batting an eye right now? Wouldn't he be just simply fulfilling or exceeding expectations of a top 5 pick? Do we need to get out of our head that this guy is Mr. Irrelevant and just acknowledge that was a draft failure by scouts?
Caught up and sitting in the same box. People can't think outside it. They think that they don't realize that the experts and the quarterback coaches and the front office people, they miss and they fail sometimes. Doesn't mean it's a lifetime sentence, but they fail.
Mm-hmm.
And they miss on a guy. They don't know. That's why it's so hard to judge the position. You don't know the DNA till you see it. If Brock Purdy right now was what he's doing and was the 4th pick of the NFL draft this past year, they would be saying, if his accuracy increased, boy, we got the next Drew Brees, but better movement. He's just not as accurate. But, man, a winner, we've got something to build on. We found our franchise quarterback. Listen, they said it about Herbert in his first year. Oh, my gosh, he's in the lineup. And you know why? Because the optics don't match measurable. Hence why I cannot – they drive me nuts. Yes, it's a great visual to look at a 6'4" guy. If they all turn out like Mahomes or Allen or somebody big and fit, Burrow, great. But you know what? There are guys who can actually play baseball and basketball and football. A 6'5" power forward or a small forward that has to guard somebody 5 inches taller and could score on anybody. There are guys that just do things that are abnormal. And I don't want to hear, I'm so tired of hearing, yeah, but what if he wasn't on the team? Well, I got news for you. If Mahomes was on the Texans, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. Isn't the object to get a great coach and a great quarterback and build it? The 49ers just did it opposite. They've got themselves a great defense and great personnel around him. And I'm not saying he's great. I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame. But think how the narrative would change. Even if he didn't trade all those, if he was just the 4th pick of the draft, think what you were saying about Trey Lance from, North Dakota State, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
North Dakota State. Think what you were saying about him. You saw him play 1 game his last year and saw him a season before, and he missed the COVID season. And think about how the regard we held him in. Why? Because of the talk, big, physical presence, can run, and raving about him. We didn't rave about Brock Purdy because he was just kind of lost in the shuffle. Even the guys like Nick Saban missed. I'm not minimizing and I'm not going to diminish Brock Purdy if he loses to Philadelphia this week and the great Eagles defense just plays better. So, and if he plays great, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame. My point is some guys are built different. And we don't know how they're built until we see what it's like when they're actually off the assembly line and we got them playing. Nick Saban missed on him so far. And so far, what Saban said about him has just been different. Some guys just don't believe the narrative on him. So, yes, if in fact this dude was a 2nd-round pick, like Drew Brees was, or was a 1st-round pick, we would be saying the 49ers got their franchise quarterback. He's undefeated. He's at the top. And then I hear, well, Sean, he's got these great players around him. Well, yeah, so did Montana. So did Elway. So does Mahomes. Brady at times, great players on defense. And every now and then a Gronk or a Moss come along. Isn't that the object of the game? But doesn't Joe Burrow have great weapons around him? Sure. So it's the narrative on his measurables and where he was drafted because we give front office people and coaches way too much credit when it comes to evaluating talent. Sometimes they just flat-ass miss.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Sean, regardless of how the outcome goes this weekend, then, for the 49ers and Brock Purdy, has he done enough in your mind to be the starter next year?
If he decided to take this week off, which we're not that kind of player empowerment, you get my point. You're damn right. Okay, why wouldn't he be? Well, that's why I'm asking people right now, why wouldn't he be? Would we be saying the same thing if Trey Lance or Jimmy were doing what Brock Purdy's done right now? Now, Jimmy played well this year, but if they were doing, I'm talking about statistics, protecting the ball, making throws, overcoming bad plays and good plays, would they be saying the same thing? oh, the only reason Trey's winning or Jimmy's winning is because of the defense and because McCaffrey's here. Would they be saying the same thing? I'm not talking about San Francisco, but nationally. The answer is no, because we expect the wheel to fall off Brock Purdy because of where he was drafted. Maybe it's not going to. So not only is it, well, it's kind of, if you want to just tell me, well, there's going to be a competition, fine. It's a no-brainer. He's every bit the starting quarterback going into the next offseason as Jalen Hurts is in Philadelphia. There is no issue. He's the quarterback. It's now his job to lose, not his job to win. He's put it up. Trey Lance has started, 3 games? Whatever, I guess 4 games, whatever it's been. And so as much as I like him, and I think there's potential there, why would I? The only reason Trey Lance or Jimmy would get the job, Jimmy's not, because he's going to want to go start somewhere else. The only reason you give Trey Lance the job right now is because of what you gave up to get him. And that's not the right way to evaluate football. The fact of the matter is, for unfortunate reasons, and getting an injury, which sucks, and it's a bummer, the glove was left out on the mound, and Brock Purdy has picked it up. Trey Lance's job now, if he gets a chance to compete against him, he's got to take it away. Otherwise, Brock Purdy's your quarterback until further notice.
Sean Salisbury with us. Sean, switching quarterbacks and switching injuries here as well. Talk to me about Patrick Mahomes. You saw the injury. I know you're not Dr. Well, yeah, I know you got that degree, but I don't think you are. Are you Dr. Salisbury?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Working on it.
We'll save that for another day.
We're working on it. What from a quarterback point of view, if you're a Kansas City fan or a bettor or whatever it is there much of a chance that Mahomes is going to be full strength, or do we have a gimpy quarterback at least till the Super Bowl if he makes it that far?
In a week, I remember, and the reason I'm not a doctor, but I had the same right ankle sprain. I'm a right-handed thrower, high ankle sprain, getting ready after a bye week for 2 weeks preparation to play Stanford. And I treated it about 8 hours a day, heavily taped it, and then spatted the outside of my cleat. I was not at 100%. I played well, very well, and we won, but I had 2 weeks. Now, Mahomes may be freakier and it's advanced and all that. He just may be a freak that he can play at 75% better than the rest of the world. I can't imagine it's 100% if it's a severe high ankle sprain, and it sure looked like it from my optics, but I don't think he's going to be 100% now, as close as you can get. We know he's going to play. Is it an issue? You're damn right it is, because that's his back leg. When he makes those quick movements, to the quick twitch to get out of the pocket, even though he can throw off schedule, he's still got to get to the off schedule position. It's not his front leg. It's that put your back foot in the ground, quick move, and then you can throw sidearm or jump passes. But there's no doubt, if this is not 100%, and I'd be hard-pressed to say that it is, now they may tell us it is before the game, and then after the game say, well, he really wasn't 100%. There's no doubt it affects movement and affects some of the things that you can do. And there's no doubt, if you're the defense coordinator in Cincinnati, even though he's great moving off his spot, maybe this is the time, because he can't put his foot in the ground, that you want him to move off his spot. The balance will be different if it's 80 or 85 or 90%, but it is a problem, and it is an issue, at least today, because he's only got a week, not 2 weeks. If it was between now and the Super Bowl, I'd say I'd expect him close to 100%, but I have had a high ankle sprain that was severe and was able to play and win, which he can do better than I am, but it'll still take its toll. There is no question.
Sean, who are you picking in the 2 games this weekend?
I think Cincinnati has been in the AFC as good a team as we've had for the last 8 to 10 weeks. I'm picking them even if Mahomes was 100% healthy. I just think they understand their game plan, and I think they've got the best offensive weapons in the AFC, meaning Cincinnati. And as good as Mahomes and Burrow are, and they're great, I'll take a full healthy Burrow, and I'm taking the 49ers on the road. Brock Purdy's story continues. Both great defenses. It will simply come down to who's going to lay the ball on the ground, who's going to make the 3 or 4 mistakes they don't normally make. Hurts has had a fantastic season, and both these defenses are filthy. I'm going to ride with the team I've been with all season long, and at least for the last 12 weeks, the 49ers. I'm going with them. Both road teams win.
So are you saying we're going to be looking at the still alive ghosts of Kenny Anderson and Joe Montana here in a few weeks?
That's exactly, back in the day, that's exactly. Was that the game that Joe threw to John Taylor on the post, the slant route at the goal line? Was that the game?
I think that was the 94-second drive with the post to Taylor. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and was that Boomer Esiason or Kenny Anderson? Either
Boomer.
way.
Yeah, it was Boomer. Yeah.
There you go. So, listen, I have so much respect for Philly and Kansas City. The atmospheres are going to be great. Will it shock us if either home team wins? Absolutely not. But straight up, I'm not going to back off. I'm going to go with both road teams. And, somebody's going to have to make one or two more plays than the other, and keep an eye on both teams on special teams. A missed extra point or a missed field goal. I think both games will be that close.
That is Sean Salisbury every single Tuesday in the 8 o'clock hour, fresh off his 4-hour award-winning show in Houston, Texas. Appreciate you, buddy. Looking forward to recapping these championship games next week.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you now.
All right. Take care. That is